Hi everyone, this is Ms. Fisher. This is a video to help you with downloading a project from the Class Google site and also with some of the exercises having to do with the house project. So here I am on the curriculum file. I'm going to click on house, and this is a Dropbox folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on name to select all the files in the folder and then download. It's going to download it as a zipped folder. So I'm going to go ahead and show in folder, and here it is. I'm going to extract all, and I think the easiest thing to do is just extract it in a folder called the same name, which is house in the downloads folder. And let's go ahead and extract. Okay, and then here is a zip folder. I want to go ahead and delete that. And then I'm going to take this and cut it, and I'm going to put it into my CSA folder that I placed on my desktop. So here's house. Okay. So once you have house, you can click on that, and then there's a lot of files in here. And notice the different type files. The Java files, the ones with the actual source code, are the ones with the Java extensions. So now let's go ahead and open in BlueJ. And if you have the diagonal lines, that means that the program hasn't been compiled. So let's go ahead and compile. And at this point, we're going to instantiate a picture object. Here it is in the object bench. And then if you draw, then you see it on the canvas here. And you can invoke the method set black and white. And if you open up, you can see it's now a black and white image. And then you can invoke the method again, set color, and change it back to color image. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to follow the instructions on the Google Classroom. It says Intro to Objects in Classes Activity Guide. So I click on that. And I'm going to scroll down to past where we were in class. And in this case, it says show terminal, and we can look at the calls that were made. So if we go to back to BlueJ, view, and then show terminal, okay, you can see that these were the commands that were actually given and that were executed. So just make sure under options that you have record method calls checked and clear screen and method call unchecked. And then you'll be able to see all the commands that were used or executed. Okay, so the next thing is that you can actually type the code as well, but we're going to go ahead and just go right inside the file and change the source code. So in order to open, you can double click or select open editor, and we're going to change the sun so it will be blue. This is exercise 8. So let's go back here, and I'm going to open up by double clicking on picture. You could right click and select edit as well. So this is a class. Remember, Java is object-oriented programming language, and so everything is written within a class, and the name of this class is picture. These are all called instance variables. Okay, these are the attributes of every picture object which you instantiate. And notice that these objects are familiar. They are the same, they come from the same classes as we had from the figures project. So we've got two squares, and these are the names of the variables, wall and window. A triangle object, the name of that is roof. Circle, name is sun. Boolean, and it's going to either be true or false. True meaning drawn, yes. False meaning not drawn. So they're declared here, and then this is our constructor. And so at this point in the constructor, each of these variables that were declared above are assigned a new object. And remember, when we call on the constructor, we need the keyword new, and that will instantiate the object. And then when we come down here, this is the method draw, and this is a conditional statement here, if not drawn, okay? And we'll go over that a little bit later. So this looks like we're invoking methods on the wall object, and then which is a square, and then the window object, which is a square object as well. Window is the name of that one at that particular square. And it looks like here is the sun, which is a circle object, and we want to change it to blue. So we're going to delete yellow and change it to the string blue, compile. When we instantiate and then invoke the method draw, we now have a blue sun instead of a yellow sun. Okay, so we accomplished exercise 8. 9 says add a second sun to the picture. So let's go ahead and take a look back at the picture source code, and we're going to go ahead and add a second circle, and instead of calling it sun, we'll call it sun2. So we declare it up here as an instance variable, and then we're going to assign it just like we did sun, the original sun. So we're going to say new circle, okay? And then underneath in the method draw, we're going to go ahead and invoke methods upon sun2. We're just going to mimic what we did for the original sun here. So we've got sun2, change color, and maybe we want this one yellow or red or whatever color you want. And then we have sun.move horizontal. And we don't want it right on top of this one, so I'll move it a little bit more to the right. And then we have sun.move vertical, and maybe I'll move it, I don't know, I'm not sure. This one is moving up. Maybe we'll move it up just 10, because negative means going towards the northern direction. Then we've got, and I forgot these are sun2s. Then we've got sun2 dot change size. And again, we're just kind of experimenting. So let's say 50 pixels. And then we, of course, need to make this visible. Okay. So then let's compile our code and let's see what it looks like. I'm going to instantiate the picture object and draw. And that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. But what about if I kind of want the sun to be maybe a little bit lower and then a little bit closer to the blue sun. And then, so I'm going to go back a little lower, a little closer to the blue sun. And if I go back a little lower would be if I moved it -10, which means moving it up, then maybe I just move it +10. Okay? Negative meaning up, positive meaning down. So maybe I want to move it down a bit, 10 pixels. Okay? And then, what did I say? I can't remember which direction I wanted. If I wanted it a little closer. So maybe instead of 200, I want 175. Okay? And let's go ahead and compile. And new picture, instantiate, draw, and yeah, I actually kind of like this a little better. So I'm going to stay with that. And the last thing here is exercise 10 at a sunset. So what you can do to look at the methods for a circle is open up the source code and take a look at all of the methods that are within here. But an easier way to do this is to go ahead and just instantiate a circle object and then right click, and then you can see all the method headers. We call these method headers. And so we want to make it move vertical slowly, right? So we're going to call on slow move vertical, and then it looks like the distance is a parameter, is an int, slow move vertical, slow move vertical. So I'm going to go right here, And I'm going to call on Sun to slow move vertical. And let's say we want to make it go 200 pixels total in length going down, because positive y is down. Okay, so let's compile, and then I will instantiate and draw, and I don't see my yellow sun. So let's take a look here. Oh, well, what happened here? Well, it's moving, but we moved it before we made it visible. So I'm going to delete that. And we know one of the principles of algorithms is sequencing. Okay, so let's now first make it visible, and then we'll move it slow. Okay, so let's go ahead and instantiate a picture object and draw. And there we are. Very nice. Okay, so that is how to do exercises 8, 9, and 10. Tomorrow we can discuss taking the original House 2 project and making a completely new scene, or just modifying the house scene, you know, and adding something or changing colors and so forth. All right, hope that was helpful. See you tomorrow. Bye.